adore me so much.
El día de hoy vamos a empezar con la tercera parte del evento que ni siquiera ha acabado, de un disparo en el silencio. A ver si no se ve interrumpido por la misión del arconte. Ese es el gran problema. Ayer en el video pasado se pudo haber notado, y no lo voy a negar, así era. Básicamente andaba más muerto que vivo. Ya hoy cuidé mejor de mi salud y ya me siento más dispuesto a hacer la grabación. Es que vamos le dando un... Pues a ver, se supone que tenemos, busca Shivrius, la capitana en especial. Shivrius es el nuevo personaje, ¿verdad? El de 4 estrellas, que no es Navia.
All right,
La soldadito,
this is the
se ve
place.
chida. Me gusta que tenga parche en el ojo. Kick-ass.
But where's the captain? There's hardly anyone around here.
En tu corazón está la capitana.
She's over there. The one with an eye patch reading in front of the newsstand.
Esa es la imagen que quiere una capitana. Parche en el ojo. Puede leer con un solo ojo, posiblemente dañándose la vista. Y se ve bien matona, con el sombrero más grande de todos.
Paimon could tell there was something different about her. She seems kinda intimidating.
¿A poco te intimida? A mí se me hace encantadora con todas las medias
Please wait here
blancas.
for a moment. I'll go fetch her. She's working now, so you might not want to get in her way.
Entonces ¿para
But
qué?
isn't she just standing there and reading a novel?
Just trust me.
Está investigando a alguien, probablemente.
Alright, let's see what happens then. Shiori sure is a mysterious person. She claims just to be a fashion designer, but she knows all these powerful people.
Posiblemente Chori sea una asesina y espía. Que me recuerda muchísimo a un personaje de Star Trek. Como dije en el video pasado, pero Paimon finge inocencia como
The
siempre.
court of Fontaine isn't particularly tolerant of visitors from overseas, so it isn't easy for a foreigner to promote their brand here, even more so in the competitive world of fashion.
Me encanta eso de, yo digo que se madrió la competencia y se estableció con su marca.
Even a local
Es una
like me,
criminal.
just trying to make a film, has to face all kinds of challenges. So I can only imagine what Chiori has been through to get where she is today. I'm
Claro
sure
que
that
sí.
having more connections has definitely worked in her favor.
Reading on the job?
Detective novel.
Ojos morados. Penojo morado.
One main character?
No, multiple. Branching storylines.
Me
I
digas.
see. How's the plot coming along?
One of the main characters is about to make a choice that will affect the rest of his life. I'd wager he's going to make the wrong choice.
Ay.
Any way to speed things up? There's something I need your help with.
You know that doesn't depend on me. It all comes down to what the character chooses.
Which is exactly why I'm here to help.
¿Y a poco la capitana es tan discreta como para que decidan hacer tratos al lado de ella?
All right. It appears he made the wrong choice in the end. Halt!
Huh? What's going on?
Hand over whatever you're holding.
Oh, it's just a book. I didn't buy anything else.
¡Oh, Dios mío! Están traficando
But I'm
drogas.
sure you wouldn't mind letting me have a look.
Excuse me, officer. I don't mind you standing around here, not purchasing anything, but I'd prefer if you didn't disturb my customers.
Don't give me that act. You won't be able to get off so easily either.
¿Qué fue lo que
I am
descubrió?
Chevras, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. I will say this one last time. Hand over whatever you're holding at once.
Quiero hacer una pausa para señalar que no puedo creer que Shivrius no sea conocida. No por el hecho de ser la capitana, sino porque ves a todas las demás y todas vestidas de azul, bien formales, todas policíacas. Y esta parece sacada del cascanueces.
And before you do anything unwise, let me remind you that I'll have you on the ground before you can even think about making a run for it.
¡Oh, no!
All right, all right.
I'll give it to you. But please let me say something first. If there's any contraband in that book, then the shopkeeper here is the one who slipped it in. I don't have anything to do with this.
Ajá.
Why, you trying to leave me on the hook, huh? You were the one who said you wanted it.
Save it for the interrogation room. Take them away, Letelier.
Llévatelos, perra. Así de, órale. Servidos y en bandeja, dice.
What's going on here? One second you're reading a book and the next you're escorting people away.
¿Y qué tenían dentro del libro?
You were... Oh! Aren't you the traveler who's been all over the papers recently? Chiori, I'm assuming what you wanted to ask me about has to do with them, right?
Vuelvo a insistir, me encanta su apariencia. Me acabo de fijar que tiene audífonos. ¿Tendrán algo que ver con alguna habilidad o solamente serán de adorno?
Maybe I can let you in on what's happening then. Now that Vacher has been brought to justice, no new shipments of synth will be made and distributed to sellers. The Fontaine guards have been busy collecting the remaining synths still circulating on the market.
Ah, sí que están traficando cinte.
Thanks to a tip from our reliable source here, this should be the very last batch.
Oh, so you were pretending to read a book in order to catch the bad guys. Oh, Paimon almost forgot to introduce ourselves. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler and Xavier.
Hey, I'm Chevraz. You probably already heard me introduce myself, so I won't bother repeating it.
Que nos arrestaste directamente, chibus.
Yeah. Why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the chance? Were you worried that my intel wasn't accurate?
¿Cómo te atreves a pensar que no es exacto? Ya que no pasa
I wanted to
amigas.
see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first. All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges on him.
Suena tan fácil que no le creo.
He had the whole day to turn the synth over to Chevraz. But instead, the moment I came up and blocked Chevraz's line of sight, he took the opportunity to sell it off.
No me he
He made the
fijado en ese
wrong choice,
detalle.
even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right choice.
Yeah, I knew. I was just hoping I'd be wrong for once. Enough about that, though. What did you want to ask me about?
Oh, you see, it's like this.
Queremos que nos, no sé, que nos reunimos.
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story.
Ni sabemos cuál es.
So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the actors?
Pégales a todos.
Yes, that's right. I
Pégame,
want to make sure we
písame.
get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible. However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever we're filming. Also, as for the pay...
No hay paga.
No
Trabajarás
need
de
to say
gratis.
anymore. I'll join.
Ay, me encanta que todo el mundo quiere trabajar de gratis. Es que nadie quiere comer, ¿o qué?
Just like that.
Todo con tal de evitar que Xavier venda el culo, ¿o qué? Sí, porque Xavier está más que dispuesto, ya se notó, güey, que está en plan de yo me prostituyo, pero a ustedes se les
What
paga.
is really saying is, if wanna fight,
Really?
¿Se
You're
adelantó el
going to
diálogo? ¿Qué
help us
pedo?
with our humble film project?
Sure,
Ay,
it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation here, so I don't have any other tasks on my plate for the moment.
no tengo nada que hacer. No es como si fuera la capitana de los pinches mosqueteros, ¿verdad?
Besides, I
Estoy sin
personally
nada
really
casado.
like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil never get old for me.
No me digas. Voy a subirle más el volumen por el tema de los diálogos.
Then we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Va. Me encanta que ya pasó a ser bien amigable toda la waifu del mundo. Acá de, ay, qué emoción.
Oh my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Farina immediately. Oh, and I must tell the prop manager and lighting technician to get everything ready. We start filming
Está lo de
tomorrow!
mañana. A ver cómo sale lo de mañana.
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day to finish. Still, I should also
Ojalá.
head back now. can start preparing the actors' costumes and makeup.
Venga, vete a trabajar.
Guess that's it for today then.
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have something to tell you.
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first day fishing our
mañana.
producer out of the fountain.
Son muchas misiones, eh. A ver cuánto dura este recopilatorio de partes de Rosas y Mosqueteros. Seguro que Xavier sabrá mantener
He'd better.
más letal. No nada más la parte 1 ha tomado ya 3 partes. Y es apenas la primera misión. ¿De cuántas quedamos? O sea, la primera misión de 5. He entretenido mucho. Bueno, vamos a hablar con la líder de los mosqueteros.
So what did you want to tell us, Chevres?
Ay, ¿qué nos va a decir?
Have you read The Two Musketeers?
No.
The story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron, and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother.
Suena a alguien que conozco. Suena la historia de Lina y Ned.
They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone.
Hijos bastardos, qué caray. Ay, caray.
One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered and left dead on the floor. It was quite evident that the culprits were the other members of the baron's household, who never had any kind words to say to them.
Oh, Dios
However,
mío.
the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. The mother's death was eventually deemed as a suicide, and there was no chance of bringing her murderers to justice. The two siblings decided to flee and someday avenge their mother. Many years later, members of the baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. A rainbow rose was found on each of the victims' bodies, being the flower that the kid's mother liked best.
Oh, Dios
The
mío.
baron believed that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lit. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive and trained day and night, eventually becoming adept musketeers.
Dan una gran historia de justicieros.
They used all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues before executing their plan and exacting revenge on the baron. Their actions let the truth behind their mother's death be known to all.
El propio varón el que la mató en un ataque de celos.
That's
Cuando...
quite an exhilarating story.
Yep, the baron got what he deserved for his evil deeds, and justice was able to prevail.
Que me
It was
gustan
just the
historias que
kind of
me
story I
recuerda,
enjoy.
me recuerda a la casa de los Ushers. Un pedo parecido. No igual, obviamente, pero parecido. Cerca.
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, Chevres?
You could say it was one of the reasons.
Oh, you mean there were other reasons too?
¿Y otras?
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or when you lent your hand to resolve our nation's crisis.
¡Al pinche crisis! Se supone que se inundó, no hay ni rastros del puto desastre. No hubo crisis. Aquí no hacen más que mentirme, güey. Eso me cagó mucho, que no haya rastros de la inundación.
You've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions.
¿Quieres que te ayudemos con un caso, cierto,
Yes,
Lindura?
you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before. There's been a recent murder case involving muskets. The perpetrator's methods appear to be very similar to what is described in the novel.
Una sola bala.
Huh. Really? But Paimon didn't see anything about that in today's papers.
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public because the investigation is currently at a standstill. The murderer is extremely cautious.
Obviamente. No veo un asesino diciendo, aquí estoy, atrápenme. Aquí estoy, aquí estoy.
A murder involving firearms? But not that many people use those in Fontaine, right?
¿Habrá sido alguien del cuerpo de
Impossible.
mosqueteros?
We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one of the weapons had been fired, it would stick out like a sore thumb. Besides, I trust the members of my platoon.
Así de, no te atrevas a dudar de mis mosqueteros, perro.
However, well, that's all I can disclose about the case today.
¿Cómo te ayudamos?
What do you mean?
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide tomorrow whether or not you'd like to join the investigation with me. I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but the more capable people we have, the better the chances that justice will prevail.
Está investigando nadie de la Unidad Especial de Seguridad y Vigilancia, que por lo que he visto parece compuesta de 3 personas y esta Chibius. Es el problema de que todos los NPCs los quieren hacer únicos. Que a veces se siente que son pocos los NPCs involucrados en ciertas cosas.
Carrying out investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them is really up to the Marechaussee Phantom. You could say I'm taking part in the investigation out of personal interest.
Interés personal. Algo sabes, algo
I don't
sabes.
want people to see muskets in a negative way, and also, I'm concerned about the similarity between the crimes and the story.
Pum.
You mean
Algo sabe, algo
they
sabe.
might be connected somehow?
Te van a matar una polilla.
I suspect so.
La pregunta es qué sabrá.
Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deal of any kind. It's a request, nothing more.
Investigaré.
If you two have any interest in the
Estuviera otra
case
cosa que
after we
hacer.
finish filming tomorrow and are willing to assist me, then I would be most grateful.
Venga, te ayudaremos.
What do you think, Traveler?
Hoy han pasado tantas cosas. Lo pensaremos mañana.
Yeah, you're right. Paimon's getting a little tired too. We've really been hustling all day.
Uy, sí, no, se ve súper cansada. Le cuesta volar un chingo y se nota. Uy, no, pobre
You'd
Paimon.
better head back and get some rest. It's good to keep a calm mind, especially when you're about to make an important decision. Otherwise, when the moment comes, you might end up like that shopkeeper and not even realize that the right choice is right there in front of you.
Y esa es una gran moraleja. Mejor mejor entregarse que no que cometer el crimen. Bueno, ese fue el primer capítulo. Hora de ver si el segundo capítulo vamos a tener pedos en hacerlo. El rodaje equinográfico va a empezar, pero mientras tanto, la historia grabada con el daguerrotipo parece que también está teniendo un lugar fuera del visor. A ver, espero hasta mañana del día siguiente. Esta es una cosa que no sé si The Witcher 3 fue la que lo hizo, lo estableció, pero le agradezco un chingo que es poder adelantar el tiempo con la ayuda de un reloj. Digo que no sé si fue The Witcher 3 porque los GTAs en teoría también lo hacen con el mame de poner a dormir al personaje. Pero me molesta más hacer eso que simplemente sacar el
Finally, time to
relojito.
meet up with everyone. Paimon even dreamt of making the film last night.
Estoy emocionada, estoy
Remember
emocionada.
is right. We're meeting at Hotel de Boer. Let's get going.
Pues vamos al hotel. Una cosa que me encanta de Fontaine es que Fontaine es tan circular. Básicamente es un fuerte circular. Aunque no entiendo muy bien por qué es un fuerte, pero ni se explica muy bien tampoco. Más allá de, es para que no se inunde.
You're already here.
Ya llegaron las waifus. Ya nos falta la mosquetera que pronto estará en mi colección.
Good morning. Xavier said yesterday afternoon went well.
Fue perfecto.
Yeah, and how about you, Ayaka? What were you up to yesterday?
¿A dónde fueron, muchachas? ¿A dónde fueron?
After we split up, Ayato went to see Udex Nervillette at the Palais Mermonia.
¿Cómo no? Fue a ver a
I
Nivillette.
was originally thinking of going with him, but he said he could manage it himself. He told me to go see the sights around Fontaine and to enjoy the local culture.
Estaría bien ver a que toda la trama se enfocara en ayudar a Yato a liberar un caso, güey, pero no creo que pueda
So
ser.
I rode the aquabus with Yoimiya and visited the opera house on Aranias Island.
No, pero está bien perra.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what we saw there. 2 mechanical puppets that were dancing together. You've already seen them, right?
Claro que lo sé, me peleo con ellos cada lunes.
Yeah, those two. Amazing, aren't they?
El primer día que los vi, no me puse en plan de Vic, mira, y me puse a saltar así de, güey, ven. Ya cuando llegó nos pusimos a cantar así. Digo, no podíamos enfrentarlos juntos, así que no fue hasta que abandoné su sesión que ya me di cuenta que era una pelea de jefe. Está bien perra,
We
güey.
sat and watched for quite a while. It was mesmerizing. Like we could keep watching them
Pienso lo
forever.
mismo. Está bien ver esos robots.
Oh, it was the same for us the first time we saw them, too.
La neta sí.
Afterwards, we went swimming at the beach. Well, diving to be exact. It was the first time I ever breathed underwater.
No concibo que el resto de las regiones de Teyvat que vayan a desbloquearse no te permitan ya hacer pedos de buceo, güey. Les quedó tan verga que neta si no se puede en los demás, en los demás continentes es de, pues voy a seguir estando en Fontaine un rato, gracias.
I held Ayaka's hand and we counted down together. 3, 2, 1, and then splash! We were beneath the waves.
Splash. Dice plaf, pero splash. Se levantaron las muchachas, ¿verdad? Se la pasaron muy bien las niñas. Qué bueno. Qué bueno que se
At
divirtió.
first, I didn't dare to open my mouth. But once I couldn't hold my breath any longer, I decided to take a big breath in. Turns out the water wasn't as salty as I imagined. It didn't really taste like anything at all.
Oye, entonces Fontaine no está en el mar.
Before I knew it, I was breathing like normal down there. It was an amazing feeling. Ayaka said I was too nervous and needed to loosen my grip. She got used to everything way faster than I did.
Claro,
I
tranquila.
knew that the Traveler could do it, so I had no doubt we could do it too. That helped me feel at ease as soon as we dove in.
Me encanta que ya que nos agarra como ejemplo a seguir, de seguro que Silas podría hacer esto. Y yo, ya quisiera, güey. No mames, imagínense poder bucear en el agua sin ahogarte. Uf.
The underwater world in Fontaine truly is beautiful. I love seeing the romaritime flowers blossoming underwater, like little candles lighting up the streets at night.
Esto es lo que hace especial a Genshin, que destaca sus pequeñas cositas del...
Yeah, and there were so many creatures that we've never seen in Inazuma.
Dejen nadar, chingado.
Like those fish that shimmer like a sword blade. Whoosh! Oh, and those big fish that call when they see people.
Oh, you
Ando
mean hunters
comentarle
raising
agua,
blubber beasts.
Claro que sí.
I just love the name Blubber Beast. Just wait till Pops and the others hear about this. They probably won't believe a word I say.
Soy yo ahorita son una tonadita de Konami, güey. Soy yo.
Yoimiya was down there for quite a while. It was dark before we finally rode the aquabus back to the city. I figured she'd want to sleep in today.
Claro que hubo. Oye, siempre que todo este pedo está muy cinematográfico, güey. Está verga el tema de la cinematografía ahorita con este evento.
Yeah, even I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get up. I still felt like I was drifting in the waves when I went to sleep last night.
Yo coincido con Yoimiya. Me ha pasado que voy a la playa, nado todo el día. Y ya cuando me voy a dormir, siento que sigo siendo mecido por las aguas del mar. Está bien perro nadar antes de dormir.
But as soon as I woke up today, I remembered that we'd all be shooting a film together, and I was ready to go.
Hablando de trabajo.
Speaking of the film, where's everybody else?
Hola de huevones, ¿dónde están?
My brother and Xavier were speaking to the restaurant owner about using the place as a filming location. They should be here soon. As for the others,
Cuenta que llegan y nos dicen, no nos dejaron.
we're here.
Ya llegaron las nuevas waifus.
Please excuse my tardiness. I just finished the Special Patrol's 6-mile morning jog.
A la verga, 10 kilómetros por la mañana.
Wait, 6 miles?
Soy chingo.
I'm so tired. I heard you all chatting, so I decided to come down. I sure could use some of that endless energy everyone else has.
Pobre Furina tuvo que madrugar, güey.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
can someone fetch me a cup of coffee? More milk, hold the sugar.
Sure,
Yo
I'd
no
be
me
happy to
meto.
do that for you.
Venga,
No,
tráigale café.
you can't go anywhere. Please, have a seat over here so I can get started on your makeup. Ugh, the last thing I want is coffee stains on my costumes.
Voy a maquillar. Maquíllate, maquíllate. En un espejo de cristal y mírame, y
I can get
mírame.
the coffee. It's the perfect job for an assistant.
Venga, ve, yo y Milla. Lo bueno es que yo y Milla es hiperactiva y sabe y puede hacer esas cosas sin cansarse.
So much energy. Seriously, what's her secret?
No dormir tanto, Florina, por favor.
Oh, Yoimiya's always like that. But you sure look exhausted, Farina. It's because you're not used to waking up so early, huh?
Vamos siempre diciendo lo obvio, güey.
Of course not. I spent the whole night reading the novel from cover to cover, marking sections that either need to be omitted or adapted.
Oh, tú haciendo el trabajo de edición.
Wow, Paimon didn't expect you to be so thorough.
Well, I was the biggest star in all of Fontaine after all. It takes more than just a pretty face to earn a reputation like that. I know how to get serious when the situation calls for it. I went all out when I was acting as an Archon, so why wouldn't I do the same for my own life?
Me encanta que ella admite que hizo el papel de Arconte.
Here's your coffee, Director Farina.
Me encanta el movimiento de la cámara como si estuviera corriendo con un café. Está grandes
thank you.
tomas, ¿eh?
The sound of being called director and the aroma of coffee feels almost as refreshing as hearing the birds chirping in the morning.
Ah, it seems everyone has managed to arrive on time.
Yay. Vamos a
We've
empezar.
reached an agreement with the restaurant owner. We are free to use the second floor to shoot our film.
Yay.
That's great!
Siento que este café está más grande de lo que debería de estar.
He is really looking forward to our film and hopes that providing his restaurant as a filming location will attract more customers. Well
Yay.
then, Mr. Xavier, I'll leave the rest to you.
Okay, thanks. First, I'd like to introduce our new members.
Yay, más gente que trabaja gratis.
This is our prop manager, Veronique. She'll be in charge of all the film's props and items.
Oh, el aderezo. Está bueno. Hola, Verónica.
And this is Bono, our lighting technician. He'll be in charge of lighting and illumination to set up each scene's atmosphere.
¿Cómo estás?
Sure feels like we have some real professionals joining the crew now.
Uy, sí, se ven re profesionales.
First of all, please allow me to first express my sincerest gratitude to everyone in the crew.
Oye, yo sé. Yo también le agradecería a la gente si me dijeran, voy a trabajar gratis en tu película y fueran tantos.
When my investor informed me yesterday that he wouldn't be able to provide the funds, I really thought that this was the nail in the coffin for this film.
Lo estafaron.
I had no idea that I'd find so many people willing to help me on such short notice. Thank you. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
Yay, danos
No
comida.
need to be so cordial, Mr. Xavier. We're all honored to be a part of this.
Yay.
Your works made a profound impression on me when I saw them back in Inazuma. I am sure that someday, this film will be remembered as a prime example of cultural exchange between Fontaine and...
Yes, the story is the reason I agreed to join. I can't bear to even imagine what this film would look like without the very best director.
Encanta que todos tienen una opinión. Y Ayato y Ayaka de estamos aquí para ser amigos. Tú no tengas pedos con nosotros.
Anyway, I would like to make a promise to everyone that as the producer of this film, I'll do whatever I can to ensure that everything goes as smoothly as possible.
Ven, Xavier, vete a prostituir para conseguirnos lana.
This is
Vamos.
not just my film. It also embodies the thoughts and feelings of every person here, as well as the endless effort we are about to pour into it. So, without further ado, the Two Musketeers will officially begin filming now!
Woo! Los aplausos falsos.
You may take
Yeah.
it from here, Director Farina.
Venga.
All right. Listen up, everyone. The first scene takes place when the two young musketeers are living at the Baron's home, still unaware of all that is about to happen to them. We'll need props and lighting to set the scene. Our lead actors can go get their makeup done, and extras, please take this time to go over your positions.
Ah, caray, hay extras.
Whoa. Seems Farina's really kicking things into gear as the director.
Sabía que había
Is
extras.
everyone clear? I don't want anyone traipsing around the set like umbrella finches.
Yo soy un pato
All
mareado.
right. Cameras will start rolling as soon as the set is ready. Let's make a film that'll make some serious waves in Fontaine.
Venga.
Not the kind of waves that drown people. I mean, the good kind of waves.
Al puta inundación. No hubo ni damnificados hubo. Estuvo más feo lo que pasó en Espignia de Rosula que lo que pasó en el puto Fontaine en general, güey.
Seems like she's still a bit traumatized by that.
¿Crees?
Anyway, let's go see if there's anything we can do to help.
La ficción dentro y fuera del visor. Rosas y Mosquetes 2. A ver, vamos a ver qué se ocupa. Furina habla con Furina, ¿cómo no?
I don't need any help here. Why don't you try asking someone else?
Está bueno. Vamos hablando primero con la nueva wifi. ¿Qué pasa, Cherry? Cuéntame. Ah, dormí. ¿Qué
Ayaka has
ocupas?
mentioned you to me before. She said that you two were great friends when you were kids.
¿Y por qué te fuiste de Inazuma si no tan amigos?
No talking. I'm thinking about how to do your eyeshadow.
Ay,
Ah, yes. To help me really look the part.
To achieve a more young and naive look for this scene.
jovial e inocente. Uf.
Are you saying the wrinkles around my eyes are too deep?
You just have too much of a calculating look in your eyes.
You sure don't mince your words. It seems you really haven't changed much.
Canta que ya tú la conoce, aunque finge que no.
Quiet.
Pues me callo. Supongo que aquí no me ocupan, vamos al otro grupo. Milla, ¿en qué te ayudo?
How about here?
A little more to the left.
El buen Bonant.
You got it.
Hey, Mia, do you need a hand?
No, I'm fine. You know, doing the lighting is kind of like designing a fireworks show. It's interesting to imagine what kind of atmosphere the lights will create.
Está
I
bueno.
heard that the Traveler will be operating the camera and Paimon will be the clapper loader, right? Those roles are just perfect for the two of you.
Really? Is that
Yay.
because it'll be easy for Paimon to hold the clapperboard while flying?
Well, sure, there's that, but that's not exactly what I
Me
meant.
encanta el mame de la claqueta, la claquetista, güey. Es como de neta, ese es un puesto en toda la producción, la claquetista. Qué raro.
I just think that after all your journeys together, you two must have developed a super close bond and just naturally know how to work with each other. If I'm not mistaken, the director will want the cameras rolling as soon as the clapperboard goes clack.
Claro que sí. Se empieza a grabar antes de eso, se graba antes de eso, pero luego esa parte se edita. Esto está
Oh, I
mejor explicado.
see. It's amazing to see the magic behind filmmaking.
Me encanta que en lugar de decirles películas son kinografías.
Yoimiya, we need lights over there too.
Ah, tráeme una luz aquí. Tráeme
on
una luz
it.
allá.
I've got to get back to work. Chat with you later. Oh, it's exciting to see so many people working together to bring the film to life.
Va.
Seems like Yamiya's really getting into it. But she was right. We do have a super close bond, don't we?
De verdad hace falta preguntarlo. Llevamos desde que salió el juego juntos, Paimon, ya que ya 3 años. Neta que no tenemos otra compañera de viaje. Aparte de Paimon, es como de yupi, 3 años de diversión. Creo que sí. Venga, comida de emergencia, digo, ay, vamos a trabajar. Oh, me llegó un correo. ¿Vienes? He oído que la temperatura ambiente está bajando en diversos lugares. Me pregunto si tus viajes te han llevado a lugares con un clima adverso. Aquí, el bosque sigue siendo un lugar cálido y húmedo, siempre. Excelente para escapar del frío invernal. ¿Considerarías pasar el invierno en Villa Gandharva? Hay frutas frescas y champiñones en abundancia. Y puedes ir de casa con los guardabosques, naturalmente dentro de los límites estipulados por las normas de protección del bosque. Además, todos los días están llenos de emoción. Si te interesa, ven a buscarme. Espero que aportes aire fresco al animado ambiente que se respira aquí. Me encanta cuando es el cumpleaños de un personaje y en lugar de que tú le tengas que dar algo, él te da cosas, güey. Venga. Y ya las otras dos cosas no me importa verlas. Vamos a prepararnos para grabar. A ver qué se ocupa ahora.
So, this is a real musket?
Uf, va a haber accidentes técnicos en el set. No, espero que no.
No, it's just a prop weapon.
Armas de threats.
Not bad. Have you seen a real musket before?
Only in books and newspapers. I made this one based on the relative shape and proportions I saw in reference images. When we're filming, some special gunpowder will be applied around the muzzle, which will help create the flash and smoke effects of a real gun being fired.
Entonces no va a haber muertos.
Which means it'll be up to the actors to portray the recoil.
That's right. The sound effects for gunshots will also be added in post-production.
Venga.
Thank you, Veronique. I think I know where to start now. However, the musket's gears and firing pin could still use some work. Adding some wear on the metallic components will make them appear more realistic.
Lo de las máscaras doradas me llama
Also,
mucho la
be sure
atención.
to rub the muskets with some oil each time before we start shooting. That'll give the impression that the firearms have been well maintained.
Good point.
Bien que sabe de armas.
You seem to know a lot, Miss Chevres. I assume you use these types of firearms on a regular basis?
Tal vez sus armas de fuego, no sé qué sea la capitana de los mosqueteros.
Yes, I perform routine maintenance on my weapons every day. Just like we as people need to eat and sleep, muskets need to be cleaned and maintained.
I also perform similar care for my sword every day, and familiarize myself with its shape and weight, to the point where it feels like a natural extension of my body.
Me encanta la manera poética en que le dice. Yo también cuido todos los días de mi espada para no olvidar su forma y su peso. Le falta decir para que esté afilada y pueda matar personas, ¿verdad? Porque si no la afilan, pues no puede atravesar nada. En el caso de las armas de fuego, estas se les da mantenimiento para que no se traben en mitad de un tiroteo.
Yes, this way, our weapons will never betray us in the heat of battle.
Ahí está, nunca te traicionará cuando más la necesites.
Yes, well said. It seems we have the same philosophy on this topic.
Son buenas guerreras.
Oh, sounds like they found a common interest to talk about.
Though these props differ from the muskets I use, I can still give you some pointers.
Good. I look forward to your instruction.
Se
First
llevaron
and
bien.
foremost, never point the weapon at anyone, regardless of whether it's a real or prop weapon, or whether you're holding it or it's on the table. This holds for any time when you're not actively engaging an enemy.
Eso lo respeto mucho. Para no apuntar a la gente con armas. He sabido de tantos casos de gente que mata por accidente a otros, que es como de... El más sonado hoy en día es de Alec Baldwin, que mató a una... Mató por accidente a una señora que estaba en un equipo de producción de una película que estaba haciendo. Y creo que todavía siguen con el pedo del caso. De a ver si pasa tiempo en prisión, de ver cuánto paga de indemnización. Y eso que fue una muerte accidental. Y luego la muerte del hijo de Bruce Lee, cuando estaba filmando El Cuervo en los 90s. Que básicamente hubo un accidente con un arma cargada y ahí quedó. No acabó la película porque se murió. Son famosos los accidentes de armas en Hollywood.
Okay, understood.
When aiming the musket, extend your arm so that it's level with your shoulder, and use your eye to look down the weapon's sights.
Like this?
Pues eso es disparar como un niga. No, así no se hace.
Not bad. Now, try saying your lines.
This is the end of the road for you.
Así no se apunta. No eres un niga.
Good. Now turn your body a little. That way, you'll give your enemy less of a target to work with. And relax your shoulders. Here, allow me to demonstrate.
Nigga. Pero sí, no eres. No eres un pandillero para
This
apuntar
is the
así.
end of the road for you.
Eso también es apuntar como pandillero, oye.
Huh.
Y allá todo lo más bien.
Excuse me, Miss Chiori.
A ver. ¿Qué va a ser?
Director Farina, there's something I wish to discuss with you.
Oh,
Oh? What is it?
¿qué va a
Like this?
comentar? Que no eres una pandillera.
Yes,
ya.
much better.
What do you think?
I do see your point. But are you sure you wish to do this?
A ver, qué sorpresa nos tiene ya.
I believe it would be most fitting.
Well, if you insist. All right, I understand. Miss Ayaka, Miss Chevres, could the two of you please come over here?
Huh? What's going on? Are we gonna start filming now?
¿Qué va a
Let's go
pasar?
see. What is it?
I have a question for you, Miss Chevres. Would you be willing to play the role of a musketeer?
What?
To clarify, I would like to turn over my role to Miss Chevres.
Oh, que sean dos mujeres los mosqueteros.
But brother,
Hayato.
Don't worry, Ayaka. I actually view this as a good thing. I was becoming troubled trying to set aside some time to speak to the staff at the Palais Marmonia. I would like to have some conversations about the cultural exchange between our two countries, and I've heard that the bureaucratic process here can get rather complicated.
Esto va a ser lo de los. Quiere irse a hacer política en lugar de estar con el negocio.
Now I will be able to focus on my work. Besides, you also know that I'm not really one for public performances.
Me encanta el mame de Hayato de yo soy el titiritero que mueve los hilos, no el que sale públicamente a hacer estas payasadas.
Are you really sure?
Y no, todos estos
From
mamadas.
a director's point of view, I also felt like the relationship between the two musketeers in the original story could be improved.
A ver,
The older brother in the story plays the lead role with his overbearing character, but this causes his character to overshadow that of his sister, and the theme of the two supporting and relying on each other isn't conveyed very well.
en resumen, es una novela machista.
But if we were to change the siblings to two sisters of a similar age, then that aspect of the story might come through more clearly. Also, I've seen you instructing Ayaka. That cold and dignified personality is exactly what we need for the older musketeer.
Puntas perfecto como pandillera.
Of course, even with all these insights, the decision should still be made by Miss
No tengo nada que hacer. El pinche grupo de mosqueteros se maneja solo.
Chevres mentioned that she really likes the story, right? Paimon bets that she'll take the role.
Dependerá de si no interfiere mucho con su trabajo. Y de si le gusta actuar o no. El trabajo es
all
lo más
right,
importante.
I'll take the role.
¡Pum!
It's decided then.
Tiene.
I'll get started on making edits to the script.
Va, va, va,
We'll
va.
also need to make some immediate adjustments to the lighting, props, and costumes. I have a feeling that our adaptation will be even better than the original story.
You're doing a great favor for me, Miss Chevres.
Don't mention it. I like this character, so if anything, I should be the one thanking you.
Yay, dos waifus haciéndose de malas.
Well, since my brother is the one who brought up the idea, I suppose there's no need to worry.
Va, 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 va.
Let's go, Miss Chevres. I look forward to working with you.
Please, just call me
Bye.
Chevres.
Trabajaremos mucho juntos. Ay.
Seems like you're really going out of your way to solve the problem I was having with your makeup.
Me encanta que quiere parece de metiche de ¿por qué te salas?
Surely you jest, Chiori. I assure you that I was mostly motivated by a desire to spend more time on formal business.
Oh,
Ajá.
come on. You really think I'd buy that? According to what I've heard from Ayaka, Her brother is someone who can juggle 10 different matters at the same time. I'm sure you have
¿Cómo
other
te,
reasons for backing out.
cómo te atreves a dudar de juzgando? Pues, ¿quién te crees? Sale más o menos.
Perhaps. Ayaka always said she wanted to go out and see more of the world, just like the traveler. But I feel that she needs not only to see other nations, but also to make some different kinds of friends. I think it would be harder for her to make new connections with me constantly by her side.
No le
I'd like
falta
to give her
razón,
some space.
Alright, go on. Spoil her some more.
Ayato, it's too bad you're stepping down from the role. Paimon really wanted to see you act as a musketeer.
Este es el castigo que te mereces. Esto es hacer justicia.
No need to poke fun at me. I'd wager that you also felt that I wasn't the best candidate for the role.
Claro que las ibas a hacer bien.
It's a little hard for Paimon to imagine you saying those lines.
¿Qué vas a hacer ahora? ¿Trabajar tú?
Yes, I've made an appointment to meet some people from the Palais Mermonia. Now, I will have some more time to prepare.
Está bueno.
Traveler, get the camera ready. Paimon, get the clapperboard. Actors, to your positions. We're about to
primera
start
escena.
shooting the first scene.
Go on
Va,
now.
va, 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 va.
And please take good care of Ayaka.
La cuidaré con mi vida.
Yep, don't worry.
Cuenta con nosotros. Que te vaya bien con el trabajo.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing the film when it's finished.
Va, 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 va. Everybody knows.
All
Boom.
right. Now that we're all here, let me help set the scene for everyone.
A ver. Te la comes sin pretexto. Muéstrame el contexto. Te la comes sin
The
pretexto.
first scene takes place when our two main characters are still living at the Baron's estate. They've been ostracized and verbally abused by others in the household, but they still have no idea why. We want to capture how naive and innocent they are, despite their pain.
Inocentes
Chevres will be
palomitas.
playing the role of the older sister, Tulip, and Ayaka will be the younger sister, Iris. Be sure to get close-ups of the main characters at the right moment. Silence on the set! Lights, camera, action!
Let's go!
Tulip, Mother's been out for quite a while now.
Perhaps she went to pick some flowers on the way home. You know how she loves flowers.
Me encantan las flores.
Iris, Tulip, I'm home.
Uf, mamá waifu. Plano medio corto. Plano general.
Mother, you were out for so long, we were beginning to worry about you.
I'm sorry, but I'm back now, safe and sound. Here, I brought your favorite treat. Apple turnovers.
Pastelito de manzana, gracias. Oye, esa reina y sus ojos rojos me hipnotizan, ¿eh?
Mother, what are those bruises on your hand?
Primer plano de la madre.
Huh? What bruises? Oh, I must have bumped into something while I was working yesterday.
Oh, no. La maltrataron.
I didn't notice them this morning.
Then perhaps they're from when I accidentally tripped when I was out just now.
Me encanta el deja de preguntar,
By the
niña.
way, did you have fun playing at home? What's the matter, Iris?
Foca Iris.
Well, we've realized that no one really wants to play with us.
They even took Iris's doll and spat at us.
And they even called us names. They said we were...
Shh. It's all right. Don't worry. Girls, listen to me. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Don't listen to them. No one can define you with such words. You both have wonderful lives ahead of you. Just like your names. You will both blossom like beautiful flowers. Maybe your time to blossom hasn't quite come yet, but one day, you two will bloom more beautifully than anything else.
Me encanta que la waifu reina usa una faja, ¿eh? Qué lástima que no es un personaje principal.
Don't let the soil you're in now ruin your future beauty. Understand? My dear daughters.
Entiendo.
And cut!
Pues corto.
Not bad. The actors' emotions were all on point. Let's keep that take.
Yeah.
Also, if our clapper loader could avoid shouting at the start of the scene next time.
Cállate, Paimon.
Oh, got it.
Está callado.
Great. I was a little worried that my nerves would get the better of me. What about you, Chevros? I felt fine. The lines weren't too difficult at all. Seems like Farina must have adapted the role nicely.
Yeah.
You two were great. I couldn't tell it was your first time acting in a film. You should have more confidence.
Se llama Elaine. Es confianza.
Thank you for your encouragement.
Me encanta. Son capaces de matar personas, pero ocupan más confianza para actuar, muchachas.
Positions, everyone! We'll move on to the next scene after we try a few more camera angles.
Va. El rodaje va a buen ritmo y tras encargarse algunos detalles, Farina ordena pasar la
This
secuencia.
scene is when our two characters return home, only to discover their mother has been murdered.
No.
Ready? Lights! Camera! Action!
Mother, we're back.
Ah, mamá.
What's wrong, Tulip?
Iris, stay away.
Oh, Dios mío.
Why? What's...
No, sus medias negras.
Mother!
Oh, no. Está morida.
She's...
No, está morida.
There's poison in this cup.
Oh, Dios mío.
I could have sworn I've seen this kind of cup before. Those aristocrats. They didn't even try to cover up their actions.
¿Acaso no los van a atrapar? Maldito sea. No, hicieron allá yaca, malditos perros.
Iris, we need to leave this place.
Leave? But now that Mother is gone, where can we even go?
A donde nadie nos diga que hacemos mal, váyanos vamos.
Anywhere. All I know is that we can't stay in this house.
But are we just going to let them get away with this?
We'll have our revenge, I promise you. Just not right now.
Ojalá.
Come on, let's go.
Venga.
No, wait.
Pero.
We can't just leave Mother here like this. At least let me leave this rose with her.
Fue una rosa.
That's why we went out in the first place. To buy her this flower.
All right. Goodbye, Mother. We'll avenge you.
And cut! Beautiful! Great performance!
Me encantó, está chido.
You're so amazing, Ayaka! And were those real tears I saw? How did you do it?
Y acá es que me acordé de otras.
I was surprised too. Thank you for the kind compliments. Actually, as soon as Director Farina said action, I told myself not to think about anything. I just felt the weight of the moment and became the character.
No mames, en algo tan fácil. Yo a llorar no se me da bien.
It's quite similar to practicing the art of the sword. You clear your mind and focus only on what's happening in front of you.
Imagínense llorar todo el tiempo. Digo, un hombre no le sale. Por eso tampoco se me da llorar bien.
Ayaka's performance was amazing. Have I discovered an acting prodigy?
Me encanta que te dejan oír los pensamientos de los
Pipe
personajes.
down, everyone! We need to move on to the next scene!
Venga, siguiente escena. ¿Qué tan larga será esta campaña, güey? Que sea de un evento de temporada. El día se pasa volando mientras rueda. Bye bye. Das Bahn.
Are we done already? But Paimon wants to keep playing with the clapperboard.
Ya le gustó ser la claquetista.
How do you feel, Traveler? Is your arm sore from holding the camera all day?
Está en una base, no mames. Sí, pero me gustó mucho la
Good work,
experiencia.
you two.
Saludos al de la moto que pasó y que no sé si se oye en el video. Buen trabajo.
You too, Shivers. You were quite the actress today.
Yay.
I've read this novel many times before. I have a good grasp of my character's mindset.
Oh.
Anyway, do you remember my request from yesterday?
¿Qué te tengo, tu cariñito? ¿Qué? ¿Qué me pediste ayer?
Oh, right. We were having so much fun that Paimon nearly forgot. You have a case where the murders seem really similar to the cases in the novel, right? So, how are they similar exactly?
In the story, the main characters grow up to become two musketeers, always using their guns to carry out their revenge. And on each of the victims, they place a rainbow rose as a signal that they've returned.
¿Dónde está la rosa arcoíris al lado de los cuerpos? ¿Quieres decir que también había una flor en la escena del crimen?
That's correct. We found rainbow roses just like in the novel.
Oh, that does sound pretty concerning. Especially after seeing the
Ahí
script
está sonando
today.
otra vez.
Oh, now Paimon can't stop wondering what kind of ulterior motive the murderer might have.
Una disculpa, un ando enfermo. Quiero hacer contenido. Y más porque según yo volviendo de Guadalajara ya se habrá acabado el evento.
What do you think, Traveler? You're smart. Paimon wants to hear your thoughts.
¿Y más listo tú crees? Si necesitas ayuda, nos uniremos a tu
Good. On
investigación.
behalf of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, thank you for your dedication to justice. There's
Yay.
no time to lose. We should start investigating right away. Follow me.
Hay tiempo que perder, vaya. Ok.
Huh? Right now? But we just got done filming all day. Paimon...
The most valuable intel always comes after nightfall. They are like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea. If you don't stay vigilant, you will pass right by them in the fog.
Venga, venga. Qué gran analogía, güey.
That's how one of my favorite books always puts it, at least.
A ver, pues continuamos con la misión.
Let's start by checking out some workshops that sell mechanical components. If the culprit is making their own weapons, it's very likely that they'll visit those sort of places.
Pues vamos. Vamos a tratar de atajar de la manera que siempre intento, nomás quiero ver si había más diálogo. Ah, que no puedo. Entonces déjenme me regreso. Y no lo hacemos por arriba mejor. Y camino. Y camino. Ay, no mames, qué verga se ve de noche el pedo de la estatuilla en medio, güey. Uf. Ok, y camino. Y camino. En nada se parece a la estatua del arconte de verdad. La fosa Lords no tenía ni para cubrirse. A ver, vamos al taller.
Welcome to LeChaux's Clockwork Workshop. How can I help you?
Hello. I'd like to know if anyone has purchased some special components lately.
¿Alguien compró un dildo, señor?
Special components? Sorry, could you be more specific?
I mean the kind of components that aren't typically used for clockwork toys, but for firearms.
Huh? For firearms? No, we don't sell those sort of things here.
Qué respuesta tan...
Don't misunderstand. I'm not here to cause any trouble. We are merely investigating a case, and we're hoping that you could cooperate.
Eso es una amenaza.
Well, to be completely honest, I'm not even sure what kind of components that would entail.
No lo veo como alguien que sabe armar.
Has anyone ever purchased components here as an individual rather than on behalf of an organization?
We have a lot of customers who buy toys, but those who buy components are all regular customers who buy in bulk on behalf of their organization.
Is that so? I understand. Thank you for your cooperation.
You're welcome. It's the least I can do.
Solo una pista sin camino. Callejón sin salida. Llegamos a mera burocracia. Otra vez los burócratas estorbando mi camino. A ver, ¿dónde están los burócratas, güey? Mera burocracia. Algún día acabaré esa misión, güey. Pero de momento me conformo con que me dejen avanzar. Todavía es temprano, así que... no, no es tan temprano. Bueno, no, la haré de una vez. A ver si logramos avanzar para avanzar. Qué rebusnancia de la palabra avanzar. Ya se usaré como límite el llegar a... No voy a llegar a nada. Voy a decir que llegar a 40, pero no voy a llegar ahorita. Instalar tecla. Malditos burócratas. Por fin podré seguir con mi trabajo. Tengo que terminar el borrador. Uy, sí o sí. Muchas gracias por todo, de verdad. Prometo que los invitaré a comer cuando tenga tiempo. ¿Tienes tiempo mañana? Ven a verme si puedes. Iremos a comer algo rico cuando salga de trabajar. Primero termine el borrador. Sí, tienes razón, he de darme prisa. Y ahora que tocaba, ahí debería haberlo apuntado. Y eso fue toda la misión. Esa fue toda la misión, dije. Malditos burócratas, como los odio. Era la misión. Ya podemos avanzar. No entiendo por qué tenía que hacerlo de los burócratas, güey. Bichos burócratas. Vamos al taller Beaumont. Stella.
Oh, hey, Chevrolet. Run out of oil for your musket again?
Hacen muchas cosas, ¿ves?
Hello, Estelle. I want to know if anyone has come to your shop recently to order some firearm components.
Oh, is this another case? Let me think.
Somos una herrería. Viene todo el mundo a comprar cosas para armas.
I don't think so. Some people have requested that I make some prop guns for the Fontanalia Film Festival, but I refused all of those requests.
¿Por qué se negó a hacer armas de tres?
Oh, why's that?
Because there's no profit. I only make things here that can do some real heavy lifting. I don't have the energy to make some new molds just for the festival.
No me sabía esa.
Then, has anybody come specifically looking for mechanical components?
Well, I usually sell off my scrap to the Fleuve Cendre. I don't typically give them to one specific person.
¿Quién es el río Ceniciento?
I understand. Thanks for your
Don't mention it. Always happy to have the Musketeers' patronage.
Va. ¿Quién es río
Seems
Ceniciento?
like we haven't found any leads to go off yet.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right. Let's head to Fleuve Cendre next.
Ya oyeron a la waifu.
Are you sure? People might not be so thrilled to see the captain of the special patrol there.
Quiero ver que
You
nos
think
ataquen.
so, huh?
Huh? No what?
Saber el
That
qué.
I grew up in Fleuve Cendre.
Ella es de ahí. Si de mi barrio me respaldan. Yo soy de ahí, rasqué ahí, nací ahí. A mí me respeta, perros. A ver, entonces yo sí me siento. Vamos empezando investigando por allá, que está más lejos que en los otros lugares.
What's all this? Some broken planks and barrels, as well as some liquor bottles?
Parece cualquier casa de un amigo al que iba cuando estaba en la universidad.
Yes, but have a closer look, Paimon. Even though somebody has purposefully tried to clean them up, these are obviously marks from musket bullets.
Aquí hubo un tiroteo.
In other words, someone was here trying to improve their shot. They were using the barrels and bottles for target practice.
Could it have been the killer?
Your guess is as good as mine. Although many people at Sandra own guns, few hide the fact from others. And even fewer would go to such lengths to hide markings from practice shots.
Me encanta lo de, aquí las armas son normales, pero nadie se molestaría en limpiar el estropicio, lo que hace este lugar sospechoso.
Anyway, let's go.
O sigamos investigando. Un barril y unas botellas hechas trizas. Algunas de ellas tienen signos de balas. Va. Pues vamos a investigar. A ver qué nos encontramos. Esmeralda. Emerald,
Hello,
como
I'd like
quieras.
to ask some questions.
I don't know
Tan,
anything.
tan.
Don't worry, I'm not here to arrest anybody.
No le creo.
You say that now.
Ya sabía que no le creía.
It's the truth.
Que verás, esa
Here,
tortuga allá
take
atrás.
this as my guarantee.
Wait, did Paimon just see what she thinks she saw? Is the captain of the special patrol bribing a citizen?
Madre, Paimon, tú no entiendes. Cállese el hocico. No dices nada, nadie tiene por qué enterarse. Digamos que ha sido como una compra.
Seems you're different from the other guards. What do you want to know?
Have you heard anything related to muskets in Sandra lately? Anything at all?
Esa es la prueba de que no soy detective. Ella preguntando sobre las cosas, yo fijaba en una tortuga que está atrás de ella, güey. Seguramente ya la había visto, pero ahorita me fijé porque la enfocan en el video.
Muskets, huh? All I know is that about 2 weeks ago, we started hearing some loud noises at night. So loud that it's been waking me up.
Y se pone a echar tiros, como aquí en el pueblo.
Were they gunshots?
De hecho, mañana es 29 de diciembre. Casi es año nuevo. Van a ser días difíciles. Diría que eso es estreno. No sé, a ver. ¿Qué día acaba el mes? Según yo acaba el 31, como suele pasar, pero tal vez me equivoque. Acaba el 31. Ay, güey. Acá cuando es año nuevo aquí en Ixtlán porque no se oyen tiros por todas partes.
Possibly. It's hard to tell around here.
Todo puede ser que sean cohetes, puede que sean niños pateando botellas. Puede ser que sean disparos.
Someone's house collapsing, a pipe exploding somewhere, it's all the same. But the noises I'm talking about definitely happened after I fell asleep.
Me quedé dormida, comenzaba a sonar la
Do
changa.
you know where the noises were coming from?
I don't remember clearly.
Se hace pendeja, está volteando para otro lado, diciendo no es cierto.
Is it that you don't remember, or that you need to think about it some more?
You tell me.
Memoria. Deme dinero.
Think about it some more.
She's giving her even more.
Que te calles el hocico. Ay, ¿dónde? Yo no vi nada.
The noises came from the end of the Southern Waterway. I came out and had a look for myself when I wasn't sleeping well, but I didn't dare get too close.
Donde encontramos los tiros.
That's all I know.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Thanks for the pat de fruits.
Golosinas de frutas. Que te calles el hocico, Paimon.
No need to be surprised. I grew up here, remember? I know how to get people around here to talk.
Yo también quiero golosinas de frutas.
My apologies, I'm all out of sweets.
Ah.
Though I do have some other tempting snacks in my custody. Fries, fried chicken, and even onion rings.
Me encanta cómo le brillan los ojitos a Paimon cuando dicen comida. Obviamente Paimon es un personaje de anime en comparación al resto. Y no lo odiamos por eso, lo odiamos por su voz.
But taking care of junk food is my responsibility. You're better off sticking to your normal, nutritious diet.
Que me das de comer, chingado.
Now then, let's keep going.
Es el rico pisando al pobre, güey. Mostrándole comida que no le va a dar, güey. Hola, tortuguín. Consigliere. ¿Pero qué hago hablándole a una tortuga? Está bien verga la puta tortuga, güey. No sé de quién es, pero está bien verga. Ok, vámonos por allá. Ya es neta, no sé de quién es, Luego haré una secundaria donde me expliquen quién es, probablemente. Titrux, a ver.
It's been a while, Tetro.
It's been a while.
Please, just get on with your request.
Está bien.
I want to know if you've heard anybody talking about muskets lately.
Fuera de
Information isn't free, you know.
Págame.
I've heard that bandits have been extremely active in the countryside recently, and they've been affecting the delivery of goods to Poisson. I can allocate some more manpower to help out with that problem.
You're still as helpful as ever. One of our men got drunk at dinner about a month ago and lost his gun. 3 days later, it turned up in the corner here.
What's weird about that? He just forgot where he put it, right?
A nadie se le olvida un arma,
This is Fleuve Cendre, my friend. Anything of value left in the tavern won't ever make it to the next day. But that gun turned out to be an exception. It didn't get any new wear and tear on it, and didn't even appear to have been fired. We were quite mystified as to what could have happened.
Era un buen samaritano que quería devolver la pistola.
I suspect it came back because the weapon was already known to the guards.
You mean a criminal was afraid the Marechaussee Phantom would use the shot marks to track them down? Maybe. But if that's the case, the culprit really took great care to avoid getting caught.
I didn't say anything about a criminal.
In Fleuve Cendre, knowing who was killed is as easy as knowing what clothes you're wearing today.
Me encanta este pedo. Saber a quién has matado es tan fácil como saber la ropa que llevas puesta.
It's the guy living in the east side, isn't it? I've never liked him. Every time he's here, he just orders a drink and sits there with a nasty look in his eyes.
So, who was the one who lost the gun in the first place?
Don't bother. Even if you ask, he wouldn't admit to owning a gun to some strangers. Not to mention the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Obviamente.
He's right.
I know you grew up here, Chauvress. Even though you're on good terms with the Spina, you've still been gone too long. Not many people know you here now, and a lot of people don't like the Special Patrol.
Tú no tienes nada que hacer aquí, mujer.
So take my advice and don't show your face too much around here. It's for your own safety.
I'll come and go as I please, and I'm afraid I'll be appearing more often due to my work.
Right. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Que avisa no es traidor. Algo me dice que nos vamos a pelear pronto.
Seems like that's all we'll
Que
be able
no,
to
que no te
uncover
dejes
for
entrar
today.
en mi mundo, quien seas. Parece que esa es toda la información que conseguimos.
Paimon feels like we managed to learn a lot more here than up on the surface.
Probablemente.
Yes. Assuming that everything we found is indeed connected to our suspect, then their timeline was probably something like this. A month ago, our suspect found a gun and took it home to disassemble it. Once he'd figured out its mechanics, he brought it back. In the following weeks, he used some parts to create his own makeshift musket and took it to the Fleuve Cendre for target practice.
Qué rápido se produce un arma,
Then, a few days ago, he found his target and carried out the murder. Once the deed was done, he left a rainbow rose on the body, just like the scene in...
That all makes sense to Paimon, but we're still no closer to figuring out the killer's identity.
The deceased was a resident of Fleuve Cendre. It's said that he was a poor, solitary man.
La víctima era una...
Yeah, that's also something I'm trying to figure out. If we are indeed following the novel, and there's a story behind the murder, then this murder should be an act of vengeance. But according to our investigation, the deceased didn't have any enemies.
La trama se complica. Me encantan las tramas de misterio.
He was no saint, but no one's heard of a rival who hated him enough to shoot him dead. Much less care to leave a rose on his body.
Gente tan cruel.
What message is the killer trying to convey? And to whom exactly?
¿Crees que pudo ser el autor de la novela? Ay, eso ya sería una mamada.
We've thoroughly investigated that possibility. He claims to have spent the whole day at the Opera House on the day of the murder, and the staff there have confirmed his account.
Okay, so he has an alibi.
Not only that, he lacks a credible motive as well.
No, el autor de la novela son un aristócrata. Y a los bajos fondos no se ve que vaya un aristócrata.
He has a family of his own, and both of his parents are still alive. I've looked into his records. He was adopted at the age of 6, and all the proper procedures were followed. There are also records of him at an orphanage before then. In the story, the mother of the 2 musketeers was murdered after the children turned 10. Of course, he could have changed the children's ages, but I don't want to assume anything without evidence. More importantly, I've also had a chat with him in person. He didn't seem like the kind of person who would pull the trigger to kill a man.
Nos van estrenando, pero pues no matar a nadie.
What should we do now? We have all this new information, but it doesn't help us move forward.
Ahorita nos dicen que hacemos.
Investigations take time. I didn't expect us to catch the culprit in just a single day. How about this? Let's spend the next few days filming with the crew. We can continue the investigation once we're done with the film.
Wait, but weren't you saying Intel is like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea just a moment ago? What?
Ah, but the book had more than one reference to the islands, Paimon.
A ver, ¿cuál es la frase? La paciencia recompensa.
As long as you spend enough time sailing through the fog, you'll eventually come across an island.
La paciencia recompensa, en pocas palabras. Uf, ok, realidad y ficción dentro y fuera del visor. Este es el gran momento de pararle a la grabación de esta tercera parte de Rosas y Mosquetes. No, continuaremos con la isla entre la pluma. Pero eso será el día de mañana, como dice. De momento me despido. Se agradecen las suscripciones, los likes para seguir creciendo. Les deseo muy buenas noches, buenos días o buenas tardes. Pronto videos. Espero volver a Guadalajara pronto para ya hacer. Bueno, al momento en que esto se suba, ya voy a estar en Guadalajara. Pero bueno, si los invito a verme en Twitch. Bye. Buenas noches, va. Cállate el hocico, va. No sé quién estaba hablando, era Furina, ¿verdad? Que se calle el hocico, me estoy despidiendo, va.